Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope all of you are doing well. So today I'm going to be reviewing one of my personal favorites. This is from, I think, 2001. I don't know if it's going to be on the back because a lot of these older DVD releases don't tend to tell you. But I do believe it's 2001. And is it 2001 or 2002? I'm not 100% sure. But it's Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. So basically, Jay and Silent Bob find out there's a movie being made, and the characters, of course, are based off of them. It's the likeness. They're trying to stop this movie because they're not getting paid. When these characters were clear as day based off of them. These characters are using their likeness. And then, of course, they're dealing with the trolls online talking crap about them in this movie. And yeah, so they go from New Jersey to California, and throughout the film, they tend to deal with a lot of interesting characters. But at the same time, they're dealing with, the police going after them, and with that, of course, one of them is played by Will Ferrell, who's not really a cop, he's more of a wildlife. I forgot what they call him, like ranger type, park ranger type of character. And you do get tons of cameos, but you also get characters throughout Kevin Smith's film. Some of them small little appearance. Some of them are actually playing their character from from all the other films he's done. At least the ones that came out before this would be released. So like Kevin Smith and not Kevin Smith. Jason Lee. So like Jason Lee and Ben Affleck, of course, end up playing, characters for that they played and like Chasing Amy and Mallrats. So you do, see them a couple times. George Carlin, of course, is in this, and a few whole variety of cameos and little appearances. So yeah, it's definitely jam packed with some greatness. But it's a fun movie. I mean, if you're a fan of Kevin Smith, you know that these characters have shown up throughout the films, at least up until the time of this release. Of course, they've been in other films after this, but at the time, they would show up in like Mallrats. Mallrats, they had more of a bigger role than compared to like Chase and Amy. Of course, they had a huge role in Dogma, and then if you look at Clerks is where they got started, and things like that. So for them to finally get their own movie at the time of this release was a huge, huge thing. And yeah, it ended up being really entertaining and enjoyable and funny. And then, of course, not too long after this, they would continue on, and Kevin Smith would give us more films. Of course, we eventually would get Clerks 2, Clerks 3, sequel to this. And I think he does plan to do another one, which I think would be pretty cool. The sequel was able to get a majority of the actors from this film to return. So yeah, I mean, I wish I could say more about this movie, but I feel like at this time, I'm sure a lot of you have seen it. So there's not going to be a whole lot I could say, and I don't really want to give away too much when it comes to like the cameos and things like that. There are a lot, but I figured I would at least mention a few things from the film. But yeah, it's going to definitely get you laughing, especially like there's the Scooby Doo reference in here. There's the George Carlin hitchhiking reference thing. Oh man, George Carlin. I feel like these films. I wish Kevin Smith would have done more with him because I feel like he could have had a film where he was more of the main lead. I think it would have been pretty entertaining, especially over the top. But George Carlin had worked a lot with him. They did Jersey Girl, which I believe would have been the last movie because that was right before his passing, or I think the film may have came out right after he had passed. And then before that, he did this, and of course he did Dogma, and then yeah. So George Carlin, fantastic person. He spoke the truth. I feel like very funny, entertaining, way ahead of his time. I feel like. And there was a documentary that was really good, and hearing friends of his talk about who he was, he truly seemed like a genuine person that didn't sugarcoat BS basically. So yeah, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, a fun one for sure. I had a great experience seeing that in theaters when I was younger. So 2001, I was pretty much hitting the end of my middle school years and hitting high school. And at that time, there was I don't know if it's still there. Probably at this point, it's not. But there was a dollar theater. A lot of times when a movie was about to hit a physical media release, whether that's DVD or VHS, I would get like one final theater release. And I saw a lot of movies at this dollar theater. I saw X-Men and X-Men 2, I believe. I saw Johnny Silent Bob Strike Back, Titan AE. I think the first two Harry Potter films. Excuse me. Um, I want to say I saw The Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones there. Um, I'm trying to think what else I saw because there were so many. And I mean, for $1 to see this movie, and then it was like $5 for that little box. The kids, like, you got a candy, a drink, and popcorn. I thought it was cool. So for $6, you could have had a really great theater experience. And we did that a lot. Like, we would split. Like, my mom and my sister would go see a movie they wanted to see, and then me and my brother and my dad go see something we wanted to see. So it was a great theater experience. Now, my mom and my sister had, or not my mom and my sister, my mom and my father had actually seen this movie at a special screening because she was, I wouldn't say volunteering at a radio station at my cousin's high school. I think she worked there for like a short period. It was like a more of like a temp type of job, and she got tickets for that screening, saw it, had a great experience. She was telling me and my brother about it. So when we found out it was going to hit the dollar theater, my dad took us. And it's funny because it was us three, and then there was this older gentleman who I want to say was in his 60s. And once, when we see them as kids and the mom pulled, the guy's like, who's watching these kids? And, that first, when he starts saying the F word and then it shows them as the adults, yeah, that guy got up and walked right out. But it was a great theater experience because it was just the three of us in there after the guy left. So, yeah, that's probably one of the best theater experiences I've ever had. There might be a couple, but I know that one stands out the most. But yeah, I do really hope they do a third film. I really enjoyed the second one. Now, don't get me wrong, I do feel like the second one was it has its issues. I think it waited too long to give us that. But at the same time, I think it was pretty decent for what we got. And Jay and Silent Bob has been such a huge in pop culture. They've got a small little guest star scene or episode in that '90s show. They appeared in Degrassi: The Next Generation. They had a few episodes in that, which was cool. I remember when that first premiered. And yeah, I feel like it's one of those movies that to this day is going to still make people laugh. And, it's over, 20 years now, I think. So I do hope that films like that get a Criterion release, because I feel like a lot of Criterion releases are films that either are forgotten or have had such a fan base that it deserves that. And I think a lot of Kevin Smith films definitely deserve to get, that type of treatment. Or see Arrow release it. I mean, they did release Mallrats, so why not? But yeah, I wish I could say more, but I don't want to. I want you guys to experience the film if you haven't. And if you have seen the film, let me know down in the comment section below what your thoughts are on the movie. We'd love to hear your opinion. I am Film Talk with Mikey, and don't forget to give this video a like, subscribe, comment down below. Check out my eBay store. Link will be down in the description below. Till next time, guys, we'll talk movies. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace.